Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to QuickBooks Labs. Unfortunately, we're not around the desk today and talking to each other face-to-face like we were last time at QuickBooks Connect, but we've still got a cracking show planned for you. This is your opportunity to talk to us about the world of QuickBooks Online, and we get to talk to you as well. We've already had a couple of questions coming in, so if you do have an opportunity to put those questions in the box, then please do. And Amanda will be getting to your question towards the end of the show. Join me is a panel of experts. So if you guys want to go through and introduce yourself, Ash, do you want to go first?
Yeah, go on, Aaron. And apologies if you have got some workmen in the next door neighbours just started cranking a saw up, so apologies if you can hear that. Yeah, Ash Britson here, bookkeeper / accountant, app developer, QuickBooks trainer. What more can I do? I think I'll just leave it at that. I'll pass you on to Johann.
It's easier for you to say what you don't do these days.
yeah, a bit of everything.
And speaking of what you don't do, Johann, do you want to go through what you don't do? That might be quicker.
I'll do anything for anyone, mate. So I'm Johann. I'm the Group Managing Director for On Point Accounting. I am a QuickBooks Strategic Partner and co-host of Ask the Expert on a weekly episode of podcasting. Do lots of other bits and pieces. I also run and develop Client Engager.
Excellent. Maybe we'll figure out some new updates both for Client Engager and NetTracker towards the end of the show. So how does it all work? Well, first of all, we're around these microphones each and every month to try and give you all the information you need to know about the world of QuickBooks and accountancy. And boy, do we have a show for you today. First of all, make sure that you're all aware that we are live normally around about 4:30 on the first Wednesday of the month, and we've kind of pushed that forward a little bit this time around, but that's absolutely fine. So if you're listening to this live back at a later time, why not try and think about joining us live? That way you can ask questions, join in the chat, just like we've already got going. If there's any questions out there, get them over to us now. And also don't forget that we put our podcast service around the world, or we put our podcasts on the services around the world. So feel free to subscribe to the podcast service of your choice. Our agenda of today is we've got a few updates with QuickBooks Online. So we're going to go through them, make sure everyone's up to date with what's been happening in the world of QuickBooks. Talk about the new badges that went live literally this morning, and hopefully you've all got your badges by now. And then there's a potential new QuickBooks partnership that they've not told us about, but maybe we've spotted in a recent video. So we're going to watch said video, see if we spot the same potential partnership that I did, and talk about it as well. And then finally, we've got an update to Zero Go. So we're not just QuickBooks on this one. We want to make sure that we're update on everything in the world of bookkeeping. So we're going to finally get that update we've all been crying out for at the end, and we'll have a little talk about that at the end. So let's start off with the updates to QuickBooks Online. And we're going to start off with a really small update. And if I just quickly share my screen, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So I'm on the report section at this point in time. And one of the new features that they've just announced is if you see the little dots that appear in here, we click on the little dots and it gives us a chance to add to management reports directly from here. As soon as we click that, we have the opportunity to create a new management report and put the name of that said management report in here. Or we can add to an existing, pick one of the reports already there and add to that. Small, subtle, quick change. What's everyone's thoughts on this? Do you think it will make people use the management accounting management reports more or less? Or what's your thoughts? Ash, do you want to go first on that one?
Yeah, I think it's a nice, anything that can sort of create a little shortcut. Generally, I'm probably already in a management report pack, to be honest. If I'm usually there first, and then I'll decide what reports I'm in, while I'm there. So I usually just try to find them. But if I just create my own report, probably more likely to add that to the management report, the one that's already there. So I tend to use my own custom reports more than the defaults that are already there.
Sorry to break it to you, Ash, but you can't add custom report. Well, you can, but you can't use this new feature to add the thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So would I use it that much? Probably not, to be fair.
Oh, what? Okay. Johann, what do you think? Is this going to encourage your team to start thinking about new management reports or reports to add to new management reports? What, who aimed at? Let's start with that.
I always get excited when I see a purple dot somewhere in QuickBooks because it's always a sign of new things. There's not many spots I see in life I get excited by, but the purple spots in QuickBooks are one of them. We use SIF Analytics for our management reports. It's just so much cooler. Live view, so my clients just got a hyperlink. They click on that. They know that will automatically update on whatever date we've told them it's going to update automatically, and they can scroll through and see all their reports. They can add questions. We can have chats on there. We can put notes on it. It's really smart. So we don't really need management reports in QuickBooks. They're a bit 1990s for us. It's a PDF that we send off in an email. But the moment I saw that purple dot, I went, oh yeah, QuickBooks have got management reports. And you kind of went, actually, if someone like me who uses QuickBooks day in, day out and loves pretty much everything on QuickBooks goes, oh yeah, I should really look at that feature again, just see how it's advanced. So if it prompts me to think about it, then I'd like to think it prompts everyone else to think about it. So yeah, I think anything you can do to remind people of any tools that are in QuickBooks, to remind them of the value those tools add, is important.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's designed to do, isn't it? It's that remembering that it's there and giving the opportunity. And maybe I think one of the things that people don't recognize with management reports is that customization option. A little bit to what you're saying there, the fact that you've got to kind of go into it and kind of have the opportunity. And they've tried to revamp this a little bit. They create the management report buttons now at the top here, whereas before, if you remember, Ash, we had to kind of drop one down, create a new one, then be able to.
Basically, we had to create a copy of one that was there. So it's nice now that it actually says, oh, I can actually create my own. Well, you've always been able to do that, but you just didn't really realize how you could do that until you saw the button at the top.
And the whole adding your own reports was kind of hidden as well, wasn't it? We had to go into the menus to then bring it in. So yeah, I like it. It's giving us more opportunity, or it's making the feature that was already there more accessible and more aware, and getting better awareness for it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I do think they maybe missed that trick though about custom reports, about the idea that we can bring these in as well, because I think that's where the magic comes in the whole management reports, is the fact that we don't just need to do profit and loss accounts and everything else, but there's whatever wonderful report you've created in QuickBooks, you can bring that in as well. So maybe if we had a chance to have that same feature here, that would really drive home the idea that you can bring in your custom reports. Yeah, it's a nice update. I think it's just a good one, and we've even got someone excited in the chat about it as well. So Kirsty's showing her excitement for that update. Okay, so nice first start. We've got update number 1 out the way. Now, you have to remind me, did we talk about this one before? So, and I'm prompted by this because Ash showed his frustration with this update earlier on today in one of our WhatsApp messages. So if we look at the update to new reports, Ash, which one do you want to jump into? Which is the one?
Just go to standard profit and loss.
Just the profit and loss?
Yeah.
I don't think profit and loss wasn't updated yet, though, has it?
No, but drill down onto one of the figures. I'm not doing it on yours. So when I open up a profit and loss and then drill down to the values behind it, the transaction report didn't look like that. It looked like a complete new layout.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but I don't think it's working on this one. I don't think this particular file, this is my my QB Labs file, I don't think this one's had the update, to be honest. Because normally you jump in here and we've got that new version of it. So I'm sure it was Open Invoices that was one of them that used to come up with that new version. So unfortunately, it's not coming on mine. I'll have a look later if you have to. But we've got that new reports feel that's out there. And it's getting mixed results, isn't it? The whole idea of it is supposed to bring it in line to be more like the advanced version of QuickBooks. If I think I've got an advanced one here. If I do go in and have a quick look. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like. But the idea is that we're bringing it in line to what the advanced version of QuickBooks looks like. And if I was to go into profit and loss by detail, is it going to bring the new one? I don't have any data in here, unfortunately. No, it's not going to bring it in either. Okay, so yeah, it's not even showing me on this one. But the idea would have been that the newer version or the new layout of QuickBooks of the reporting is starting to come the standard on all of them. What was your biggest frustration then, Ash? Talk us through what was causing you the biggest kind of frustration.
So for example, I could click on sales, my profit and loss. And then when I'm drilled down, so that would drill me down into the detail. But if I had, let's say, various journals within that particular category, they would all be collapsed immediately because they've been almost like they're pre-filtered. So what I would normally see when I click on sales is all of the transactions just in a list, whereas it was immediately in a collapsed view, which so I didn't see everything that I liked, and the layout wasn't really as I liked, and it wasn't. It just seemed very sort of clunky as I was trying to get in and out, and then all of a sudden I want the traditional view, which I couldn't see immediately, and then I sort of just clicked the back button of the browser, which then actually created the traditional view, and then I could go back to my report. So I think there was an option on the right-hand side where you could click, use the old version. But
and I think
either close something down or whatever it did. Because if I just had the view, normally you can just say, well, go back to profit and loss, because you want to look at one category at a time sometimes. But if I went to that, if I clicked on the other option to look at the different view, I didn't seem to have the ability just to go back to my profit and loss summary. So I was doing a bit of backwards and forwards, which was just really annoying me this morning, because I was looking at the profit and loss and I wanted to look at things in detail. And, I was pulling my hair out, because where I would just sort of look at something, click back, click up another thing, click back, I was going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I get it. And I think it's not exactly looking like this, but this is what it kind of looks like. It's the kind of look and feel of it, isn't it? Of the newer experience. I think for me, if they're going to bring this new experience in, we need those extra features that come with it, and then it makes sense. Problem is, when you're not in advance and you're in the profit and loss, or in plus or essentials or core or anything, then you don't get the extra features. So we're kind of trading the view from one, and I assume the reason is so it's the same experience no matter what version of QuickBooks you're on. That's what they want to get to, isn't it? That it's not jarring.
Look at that view there; it looks fine, it looks great. But the problem is when you have transactions in there, because immediately they're all collapsed down when I don't actually want transactions collapsed. Sometimes I just want to immediately see everything, and then I'll make the decision if I want to collapse it or not.
Where's all data gone? Where's all dates gone? I'm not sure I like the fact that all dates has disappeared. But anyway, So it's like that you were saying, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. So it was immediately collapsed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that easy to sort of look at to begin with.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we don't like change as accountants, do we? That's one thing that we don't like at all. So
don't tell me with your
but we can see why this changes here. Like, there is opportunity for, like, the new features they added into advanced is actually pretty cool, isn't it? Like, you can put those reports in and then sort of things. But what's your view on this, though? Do you think this is a positive change, or?
My issue is, does it actually help the client any more than it already did? It's still not an overly pretty, clean, user-friendly thing to read. It's still ultimately a spreadsheet of figures. Like, what's more important to me is the performance center, which is still not really. They still not really cracked it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
It's still a bit Excel chart into a Excel graph. Until they get, this is why I use SIF Analytics. It's why people go to Fathom, Futurely, etc. Because listing numbers, clients just don't get it. As accounting firm owners, we get it. We're used to lists of numbers, but clients have so little value in a profit and loss and a balance sheet. What actually they want to see is their trends and stuff on a graph. They get it. They can spot a pattern. Like, even the youngest child can go, oh, that's gone down. Is down bad? That's bad. Oh, it's gone up. Is that good? Is that good? That's good. Right. So for me, they can keep doing all they like to the reports. I don't really care because it doesn't help my client. I need them to spend more time and resources on the performance center so that my clients can see the information in a format that they can relate and understand. And then, then I'll start using it more.
Yeah.
But, at the moment, the performance center is a bit half-hearted. And that's why I put all my clients onto SIF Analytics.
Yeah, it was one of those when we were really excited when it was first announced, weren't we? Performance Center, let's get involved, let's get started. Oh, this is what we wanted all along. Doesn't interact with management accounts. It doesn't have that ability to bring that data in. And it's actually really clunky to get it to your clients in the first place. There's no like easy way of doing that. So unfortunately, we're with you on that one. I think as soon as we can actually start seeing improvements in Performance Center, everyone's going to be happy.
The other question is, are we at risk of venturing down the same path of Xero? Like Xero haven't really developed anything for 2 years apart from new formatted reports that don't look any different. Are QuickBooks wanting to make that mistake? I don't know.
I mean, in fairness to them, the fact that they've released like the pivot table area.
Well, that's true.
I know it's just in advance, but there is at least development happening. Because advanced does need to have that differentiator between plus and advanced to justify it, doesn't it? I know it's finished at the moment, but in America it used to be Fathom, didn't it? You used to get access to Fathom when you went to advanced. I don't know what they're going to replace that with going forward, but in here at the UK, we've got those tweaks and these little extra bits, and there was that whole idea at the top here. If I just go back, of giving more graphical view. And bringing those in. So we've got that, haven't we? Which is a start, at least.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. They need to be able to put those graphs into management reports, and even more importantly, putting them onto the dashboard the client logs into. We've got some visualizations there, but there could be so much more. And that we've got that ability now to customize this a bit more with drag and drop in the order. Well, now give us the performance center reports to put in there as well.
Agreed.
It's so close.
Yeah. At one point, we were given the opportunity, or we were told that this dashboard was going to give access to third parties. So imagine someone like Client Engager was to put some reports in there or something, or NetTracker to bring something in. That's what we need, isn't it? We need to add extra functionality here so that we can start using the dashboard what it's designed to be, and bring it in. So all in agreement on that one. The next update was just the new bills update. We may be having a bit of amnesia. Maybe we did cover this in the February one. Maybe not. But we've had a new experience to the thing. I best actually go back to QuickBooks Labs, haven't I? Otherwise, I'm going to show people the wrong one. So on this new experience that we've got within the bills area and the expense area, gives us an opportunity to have the for review section, an unpaid section, and a paid for section. And what the cool thing about this is that when we're in the unpaid or the for review, when we add bills, it's prompting us to upload from computer, create a recurring bill, create the bill directly from there. And it actually interacts quite nicely with your receipt capture as well. So if you take a photo on your phone and it's classed as a bill, it'll automatically be applied into here. So it's given us a brand new way of being able to look at this in a much more task-driven approach. And if you've got, say, a bigger client and they've got a team member whose their only job is to put these bills on for everything and put these bills in correctly, then this could be quite a nice little task management area for them to be able to go through it as well. I've also been speaking with a really cool piece of third-party software, and we're going to talk about bringing them on the show at some point, called Apron. And their whole idea is that they can grab the data that's unpaid in this bill section here, and then they can actually generate an approval system for actually getting it paid in a really frictionless manner. One of the coolest things I found about their solution is that if you've got the PDF document attached, not only will it find the amount and stuff and clarify the amounts right that's been put into QuickBooks and that data's been extracted correctly, it's also going to look for the payment details as well and bring that into it so that it's going to then know where to make the payment to. It's really cool, really cool piece of kit. And I think it's going to be driven quite nicely around this, because then that gives us that extra bit of functionality there. Ash, what do you think of this? Oh, go for it.
What was that called? Sorry, Aaron, that bit of kit.
Apron. I'll after I'll give you some introductions if you want, because
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. But yeah, we're looking to get him on in the next week or next month on QuickBooks Labs. But yeah, Ash, what do you think to this then? What do you think to this kind of update? It's came out of the blue. We weren't expecting it at all.
Yeah, I do like this.
Will help.
Because I'm not looked at it in a lot of detail yet, but does this allow us to go through the approval process in these bills? Or are we just adding it in the same way?
So approvals, yes, but only if you're in advanced mode.
Only in advanced
version.
I thought I had seen an approval option, but that must have been
that's why I jumped back into QuickBooks Labs, into my kind of QuickBooks Labs demo.
If we've taken the picture with our phone, where traditionally we would go into banking receipts, will it still appear there, or will it appear in both places?
Yeah, both places appears there, and then you can deal with it from either place. Either deal it from here, or in the full review section, it'll appear there for you, or it'll just sit in the receipt capture area as normal. And it doesn't matter which area you put it in, it will then follow the trick. So you're just getting options really. But what I do like the fact is, you may have uploaded a load of them, but if you go to this screen, it's almost filtering it for you. It's taking away the your traditional expenses and just leaving you with the bills.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll put this is something else really. This could be slightly controversial, maybe. I don't know. I've recommended to a couple of people recently, if taking a picture with their phone using the app, it basically put absolutely everything on as a bill. And let me explain the reason for that.
Go for it. Yeah.
So somebody had a couple of credit cards and a bank account, and they scanned, receipts, passing it as an expense, and putting it to, let's say, American Express. Every single one they did was going to American Express. When it came to actually, looking at their accounts, because of the order in which they've done things, you end up with a load of things basically being posted to the wrong bank. And then when things do come through on the bank feed, nothing automatically matching, and possibly putting duplications in.
Okay.
So by putting a bill in, it's not going to be marked as paid at all until it hits your relevant bank account, in which case you will have a match to mark it as paid. So that's just what, that's what my preference is now. If I'm ever doing something, I'll always put it on as a bill. Yeah,
and it makes sense, doesn't it? And at least with this panel here, you're almost forcing that, aren't you? Because it is just doing bills this way. It's not expenses. It's just bills. It's how to bring it in. So I think this new view, and I'll bring the view back up, but I think this new view encourages what you want there, doesn't it? Because you could make it so that whoever that client's going to be, this is the only section they use. They don't use the expense, the receipt capture, and accidentally put it as an expense. They just use this, upload it, and it'll always be put on the bill then.
Yeah.
So that could help in that situation, couldn't it? Yeah. And what do you think? Have you been able to implement this with any clients yet? Have you had to talk with them, or what's that?
I have. So I've got a client who's had a few cash flow issues recently.
Yeah.
He's brought in a new admin, which has helped no end because she's on top of things more than he ever was. But every Friday for the last 6 weeks, myself or my team has run a report of unpaid bills and emailed it over to her from QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Because is the scheduling tool still not working?
It's working my end, so.
I couldn't find it the other day when I was looking.
Oh,
Might be
I'll tell you
back.
where it's disappeared. If you're on that new view, that new custom view, it's gone. So if you're in advance, you can't schedule.
Yeah, right. Well, there's my problem. But now that we've got this view, I don't have to send a report anymore. They've got a constant visibility of unpaid bills.
Yeah.
So they can now go in and just deal with it. So yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of this. Really pleased that it's gone in, and it saves clients having to go in and look for a blooming report in the report section, which there's too many choices in there for a client who just wants to know one thing: what bills haven't I paid yet? Well, they're all there now, aren't they? So they can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. I was just hoping that on this view we could add the date it was paid. We can't add the bill date because I'm only just trying to answer Amanda's question here. Hi, is there a way of printing out a QB report to show 2 columns for bills with one column showing the invoice date and the other column showing when the invoice was actually been paid? I was hoping to say it was this screen, but go for it, Ash.
I was thinking about that. I've just looked at one report earlier on. It doesn't answer it perfectly, but what you could do is, I can share my screen quickly.
If you want to do that, no problem at all. In fact, while you're prepping that, I'll just quickly go through the next update just so that we've covered it. Really quick and easy, that one. Starling. So if you've got Starling clients, one of the things we had frustrations with it, what was it, about 2 podcasts ago, we were talking how with a Starling account you weren't getting much data coming through. So for example here, the bank detail down here was very, very limited. They have improved that, so good news all around for anyone using Starling. Finally, you're going to get the full amount of detail coming in going forward. Unfortunately, there is no update on the spaces issue. That was, again, if you go back to podcast ago, we were talking about there, but it is to be confirmed on that one, and they are looking to bring that through as possible. Actually, you ready to share screens?
Yeah, I should be fine.
Do you want to press the share screen button then, and I'll give you permission to send?
I can't see a share screen. I've got a present button. Is that the one I want?
Yeah,
got it. I've got it.
Awesome. Move that one.
Window. Should be the one.
Oh.
That's just rude.
Go for it, Ash.
So this isn't perfect, but this is the original date of the bill. That's the bill. It's marked as, and there's the last modified. And if you've actually paid a bill, that changes the status of the bill, and which will basically be the last time it's been changed. So it's not perfect, but I can see that bill there, 7th of January, and it was last changed on the 13th of February. And that's a pretty good chance that would have been the date that it was paid, unless for any reason it was reclassified to a different different account code.
Yeah.
But that it's not perfect, but that's one way of doing that. And that, to get to that particular report, I just clicked on creditors in the trial balance, and then customized, and just filtered. And then I took out, you can just take out whatever columns that you don't want by just taking the ticks out of the boxes, and then I just put in there the A/P paid, so it is paid, and the date that it was last modified. So that's one. But I'm pretty sure if I spent a little time, I might find a better report than that. That was the first one that just sort of
I think you're right. I think that does. And the good thing about that is because it's only affecting the bill. Because I was about to say, well, what about if you reconcile a bank? Because that would update it, but that's only going to update the bill paid section, isn't it? So the fact that you're just looking at bills is the best way of doing it, isn't it? You're eliminating that issue. Yeah. Nice one. Great work. Okay, so another quick update from a QuickBooks side of things. QuickBooks are about to release, and I thought they'd already done this, the Intuit Accountant UK as a new fancy social handle across Twitter and Instagram and everything else you can think of. I've not seen it yet, but just keep your eyes out for it because I know they've got some great content coming. But I was told, or I was under the assumption, it's already live. So yeah, if anyone can find that, that would be great. Put your hands up then, out of everyone here, who's got the new badges?
Some of us have been working on it, Aaron.
You know what time I got up to get my badge this morning?
It's probably too early.
Yeah.
If I hadn't had 2 weeks off and wasn't playing catch up on so many things, I'd have been all over it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would highly recommend you have a look at this one. This is a opportunity to go and get yourself the new badge. The badge on offer this time is training, and with training, you've got 3 different sections, and I am just trying to get myself signed in as we speak. But the idea would be that once you've completed 3 different training modules, then you will be entitled to your badge number 2. And as it looks at the moment, it looks like we're going to get the opportunity to get at least 3 badges. So I'm all excited on this one. I know, Johann, I know you've got your badge. Just remind me, Ash, did you get to go and have a look for your first badge so far?
No, I haven't. But I mean, perhaps I should. It just doesn't. I've got to be perfectly honest. It just doesn't really get to me, that the whole get an extra badge. I mean, I'm not. Even when I was in the Cubs, I didn't really get. I used to go to the Cub Scouts. I wasn't really into getting badges there. But
you have to change the effect of badges down one arm.
Yeah. Maybe I can. I ought to go and have a look at them. Being one of the UK trainers, perhaps I should. Perhaps we ought to ask all of the other trainers how many of them actually got a badge.
I think I might be the only one.
So lead by example.
That's a part of it. So this is the new area. So we've got the training module, getting the opportunity to get. I know it's all grayed out at the moment because I'm on a different profile, but you can see here module 2 training. So if you haven't got your training badge, this is what it looks like. And when you have, like myself, a nice big green ticks along here, and you get the badge available, and it's all wonderful. So there's 3 new sections. You get
down because I'm going to make a note to see if I can remember to do it. And I'll do a last. So the next time I come on, I'll have a load of badges that I can display for you.
Accountability next month. That's what it's going to be. In fact, in chat, if anyone's got their badge, make sure you post it in chat. QuickBooks Online Accountant Books Review is the first one. Really good trading module, this one. Absolutely amazing. Maybe because I wrote it, so I'm a little bit biased on that one. And Annette presents that one. But the one I would really recommend people looking at is this work papers one. Basically, we were tasked with putting some training together for work papers, and we went about it a different way. The idea is that Annette herself, one of the trainers, she has a working papers on Excel that she's used for years, and it's best thing since sliced bread, according to her. There's nothing better out there on the market. So my task was to tell her or show her how QuickBooks Working Papers could help her improve her efficiencies and hopefully get away from using Excel. No spoilers, but I'm happy enough to point you towards this training module here. So hopefully that gives you an indication of what her final choice was being. The fact that I'm not sure QuickBooks would have allowed us to have put this up if it went any other way, but no spoilers, but you'll get to see what happens on that one. So we're really proud of that piece of training, so highly recommend getting yourself over there. And then finally, QuickBooks Standard and Advanced Payroll Overview, a nice little video done there about the QuickBooks Advanced and Payroll. So yeah, highly recommended. Get yourself your little badge, and then you can start showcasing your badges. Like it keeps popping up on the screen here above me. It goes on there. So yeah, what's anyone's thought? Anyone got any updates or anything they want to talk about the badges before we move on?
I think the topics that the badges that this one's covering on, there's a bit of criticism from the marketing one because it was just download PDFs and you got a badge. I mean, it was a bit basic, but the fact I'm just having a look at it now. I've got to sign up for 3 different webinars to watch the videos. I'm assuming there's going to be an examination at the end of the videos.
No comment.
Okay. But more importantly, the topics. All 3 of those I'll be pushing to my whole team tomorrow to do.
Good. Excellent.
because they are all relevant. Like, we use bookkeeping review, we use working papers, and we use advanced payroll. Do we use them to their full effect? Are we missing key parts that we're not using yet? Yes, I know we are. Telling my team that can be a challenge, but when they go onto these little webinars and they watch it, it gets their brains thinking. It gets them thinking about, oh, I could use that. That could make my life easier. And then they come to me going, oh, I want to try doing it this way. I could have been sat there talking to them until I was blue in the face trying to get them to do it. But because they've watched a video and they've come away with the idea, it's their idea now. They feel ownership and they get on with it. So, yeah, no, I think those 3 topics are spot on.
And obviously, we're few of us are under NDA here, so we've got to be careful about what we say and everything else. But everyone should be aware that the working papers fall into the accounts production software, so it's all going to be in that same area. So the more we use the work papers, the more we, feel confident with it and get the most out of it and find those efficiencies, like Johann just said, the more opportunity we're going to use the accounts production side as well. Which,
I've just taken out more licenses with QuickBooks. So every client that's using Xero and Free Agent or paperwork has a QuickBooks license, whether they like it or not, whether they need it or not, because I'm going to put every single client through the QuickBooks working papers process, through the accounts, through the pro tax, and I'm done.
Yeah, it shows that we've got the same, what to call it, because I think I've done exactly the same. So, yeah, well, less thing about that, the better, I suppose. But yeah, no, it's true. I think it's exactly it. And it's in preparation, isn't it? It's about efficiencies that we're talking about. It's about pushing those forward. It gives us the opportunity to, become more efficient going forward. So yeah, so this is your accountability, Ash. You have until this time next month to showcase your badges. I want them behind you on the wall. All right, let's have a bit of fun on this next one, because this isn't something that's been announced. This isn't something that that is official or anything like that. But QuickBooks put a video up the other day, and on that video, I spotted a potential new partnership that I was intrigued about. So I went over to the actual people who created this video. So it was done by a campaign, and I did ask them to comment, and they refused to comment. So, let's figure out what that means. Does that mean, is that good? Is that bad? And I do have some other bits to back up on terms of something that might be it, but the bit I've got to back up is a very American based. So what I want you guys to do is watch this video and let me see if you can spot what I spotted, and then we'll have a chat about it. So this is on their Instagram page, QuickBooks UK, and I'm going to go down to this video here. I'm going to let it run. There's no sound either, so yeah, feel free to talk.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. I spotted the same thing.
Let's see if anyone can spot a potential partnership agreement coming through. So must admit, very nice looking waffles then.
Oh, there's a place in Edinburgh called Duck and Waffle.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, duck leg on a waffle with maple syrup, nothing better.
Game changer. And we're just watching it through. Keep watching it. Courier, by the way, is not it. That's who I message, and they were doing things. So, out of curiosity, Ash, do you want to go first? Do you want to guess first? What out of there potentially did you see that got you a little bit excited?
Was it the square?
It was, yeah. Is that what you were spotting, Johann?
It was that, or they're about to go into business with waffles. Either one, I'm quite happy about.
So this is on their official videos. I mean, again, this is us tinfoil hat moment here. We've not been told, and we don't know anything in the background.
Yeah,
this is something we've wanted for a long time. What's your opinion? Are we dreaming at this point? Because I've got something else to show you about the American side as well. But are we dreaming at the moment? Is this a possibility, or is this just are we just barking up the wrong tree?
So I saw it and I thought, oh, that could be good. But then I know how in bed they are with iZettle and PayPal, who own iZettle, and I know how much headache we're getting. And Aaron, you and I are banging the drum constantly at QuickBooks head office to let Cresco, iWalker, anybody through the bloody doors to provide a payment solution that's not PayPal. I wonder if this is a mistake. And it's perhaps something. I wonder if the video will get taken down and it'll be edited out. Because, all right, let's face it, we haven't got that big of an audience. But yeah, I think it's a slip up. I can't believe after all these years of begging and demanding more payment providers other than iZettle and PayPal, that they've finally taken on board our feedback. Because there's too big a commercial agreement in America for it.
But they're so forward with the Zettle agreement. Like, it's front page of when you go into QuickBooks. Like, if I go to QuickBooks now and I went to the sales section here and I went to overview, it's telling me here. Like,
isn't the latest rumors from America that Square are about to launch their own general ledger anyway?
Oh, are they? Well, that ruins this bit then, because I was about to say that this is what they've got in Square at the moment, and they've got this is in America at the moment, but they're showing the Square integration. Like, it just works brilliantly. And it just, you get to connect to the Square one. So if Square are doing that, and what I like about this functionality here, and this is way better than what we're getting with the Zettle connection, is you're getting this whole fancy page where you get to connect the two up and you get to see the transactions and you put them in together. It's like the dream come true, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're going to be very disappointed on Christmas Day.
What's your opinion, Ash? Do you think this is a dream come true? Do you think this could happen, or do you think this is am I clutching at straws on this one?
I don't know. I think it could be. I was just trying to Google courier, so I don't know whether courier was supposed to be some sort of.
Courier. I did research. Courier are a ad agency type arrangement. So I messaged them. I was like really excited, and I says, "Can you comment on it? Because we're going to bring it on a podcast. Is there any chance you could give us a scoop or anything?" I just got no comment back. So so they know it's in there. So
someone's just got sacked. The video's about to be taken down and edited out. Someone's getting the iZettle sticker out, ready to go on the video graphics.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Ash? Do you think it's possible?
I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, isn't it?
It's there for everyone to see.
Yeah, I think it could be possible. I can't believe that they've released that in the public domain. There was anything wrong with it.
Ash has got a point. I know how vigilant. Well, Aaron, you and I both know how vigilant the PR and the legal team are at QuickBooks. Part of me can't believe that something like this would have slipped through that net.
Yeah.
But then another part of me thinks it probably has, and someone's about to get a really, really big telling off.
We can hope. If we have got the scoop, though, you heard it here first. I think that's the.
If we've got PR crawling over our LinkedIn profiles tomorrow morning, we know why.
Exactly right. Okay, so at least we're all on the same page, though. At least we spotted it. It's not gone unnoticed.
I'd love it to happen.
Yeah. Because that could open the door. That in the realistic part is it could open the door. At the moment, if you're a Square-based business, then a lot of the times you are kind of better off using Xero, aren't you? Because of that integration, because it works better in it, and it goes there. And if you're a Zettle-based business, then it should be QuickBooks, because of at this moment that's where the connections are stronger for each. The unfortunate thing is that Square as an ecosystem just outperforms Zettle at this point in time, and it's just the fact.
Has there been any real advancement in Zettle since PayPal brought it? If anything, they've gone backwards, haven't they? Because they got rid of the iZettle Advanced or whatever, iZettle Pro, whatever they wanted to call it, which was fantastic. And now we've just got nothing.
Yeah, and the Zettle terminal is a great piece of kit in terms of if you're in that Zettle ecosystem, but it won't connect to anything else. Like, you're just completely and utterly, it doesn't even have Bluetooth. Like, thinking the functionality that could have from there. So it's a shame, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, cool. Just answering Kirsty's question here so that we get it covered. I've been up since 2:30, dropped children off at 4 a.m. and been working ever since. Need to bookmark it as I couldn't get back to find my marketing badges. Find it really hard to get back to the site. Any tips? I'll be completely honest with you. I struggle as well. The best thing to do is wait for the email to come through. You should have had an email by now, and there's a link directly to it.
It's just on the Pro Advisor listing, though, isn't it? Go to your Pro Advisor on the left-hand side when you're in QuickBooks Accountant. Right at the bottom of the Pro Advisor benefits is Pro Skills, and just click on there, and it takes you to a website. You agree to the terms, and it loads it up.
Yeah, because every so often it pops up on the top left for you as well, doesn't it? But that's just a pop-up that's not consistent at this point in time. But yeah, a great point. Yeah, go down to that Pro Advisor Pro Skills one and go from there. All right. Final bit of news then, as we're flying through today. I just got an email just before we went live that Zero Go has had an update. Now we are,
Can you connect the bank?
Well, this is it. What is on your wish list? It is the bank,
because it got nothing in it.
Yeah, the bank. I don't know if you've ever used it, Ash. Have you used Zero Go yet? Have you played around with it?
No.
No. Okay.
Couldn't get go, could he?
Exactly right. In fact, 1 second. Find the right button.
It loses its effect when it takes him 5 minutes to find the sound effect.
Oh man. That'll do. Right. Okay. Put it through from there. No, but they finally got round to getting their big update through. Zero Go can, and get ready, drum roll please on this one. First of all, it says, we hope you're enjoying using Zero Go for your business. These past few months, we've been busy developing a new feature that will help you get a better overview of your business performance. So here we go. The new business report feature means you can easily run a report and view categorized transactions. There you go. User feedback's gone a long way on this one. So yeah, they've released a new business report feature, ready and waiting for you to view reports. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's no pricing model yet, so maybe that's an paid for extra. That would probably be extra £15 a month or something to go through on top of it.
Oh God.
We joke, but yeah, unfortunately, still no bank connection to it, which
we are the first
What
to
is the
give.
point in this Zero Go?
Wow.
Yeah.
We're the first to criticize QuickBooks Self-Employed and say it's terrible at times. It's not really great. It's not got a wide audience. You outgrow it too quickly. But at least you can connect a bank. It came with reports on day one. Wow.
You know what the worst thing is on my review? I didn't even notice there wasn't a reporting feature. I've done a bad job.
God.
Now it has. So, it now has a reporting.
A whole new video for you to do, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. Content just creates itself now, doesn't it? So
It does when you miss half of it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's it. You can view all the transactions you've been categorized. You can run the report for any chosen period to see your income and expenditure. That's a feature.
So profit and loss is now a feature.
And you use the information on the report to assist you completing your tax return. There's a good update.
Revolutionary. No other software's got things like this.
This is it. Game changing. That's why I want to call it a game changing update going forward.
Do you think they realised how non-game changing it was, and they made all 800 people involved in this redundant?
Ouch.
Like,
moving swiftly. No, I don't know. Yeah, we've been blessed with some amazing updates lately in QuickBooks Land, haven't we?
I mean, it's just. Is there any wonder Xero seems to be struggling when the latest update is the ability to view the data?
Yep. Because they got criticised the other day, didn't they, about their recertification process, and the fact that it was a very lackluster approach to it. And without giving too many things away, at the moment we're looking for the list of QuickBooks recertification, and we're having to cut stuff out that we don't have enough time to cover all the updates that's happened.
I mean, at least that's their recertification for the next quarter sorted. How to use on Zero Go.
With those 3 features: view all the transactions you have categorized, run the report for any chosen period, and use the information to assist you in your tax return.
But hang on, how many of those reports are in use until they can connect to bank? So you can review the transactions, but you can't get them in there.
That's why I didn't notice the reports there, because I had no data in there to be able to need a report in the first place. So,
oh God,
poor little. It's the software that tried. That's what I like to think of. Zero Go, the software that tried. So.
Yeah, when even QuickBooks Self-Employed outperforms you, you've got problems.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So there we are. There is the big update from Zero. So yeah,
I'm glad I sat down for that.
I know, I'm good into it. Yeah. Maybe next time is the bank update. Maybe next time we can all hope. But with that, I think that is the end of today's podcast. I think we've had a good opportunity to look at some new features that have happened within QuickBooks itself. I think we've got a nice little update. We're hoping, fingers crossed, the dates align, and in fact the dates should align for the release of the accounts production one. I think what we'll try and do is make sure the next one that we do for this, we'll bring it in line with accounts production. We're doing accounts production special. How's that sound? Ash, speaking of updates, let's go through some of these NetTracker ones you want to tell people about.
Yeah, so we released some updates last week, so people are now able to connect back to Zero, because we sort of ceased that ability back end of last year. So now people can connect to Zero, no problems. You've got the ability of having calculations by day or by period, so more useful for doing accruals and prepayments, or prepayments especially, where you've got a partial month and you want to make sure those adjustments start at the middle of the month. We've got those. We've got an updated help center. So I created a load of new videos at the end of last year, and now they're directly accessible from help center. We've changed the way that some of the groups for assets and prepayments appear on the screen. So that before a group of assets was shown below each other, they're all tabulated. And there's some other boring stuff that just makes things go quicker in the background. So some people would really see that, but believe me, there's things that sort of just make things work a little bit smarter. And then on our sort of future roadmap, we've got changes in the year-end process to tidy that up. We've got later on in the year, we're going to start now looking at the changing out, tidying up the user interface a little bit, making it sleeker. And then we'll be looking at bringing the loans function in for hire purchase loans and bank loans, mortgages and all that stuff. We can go in there and do all the monthly adjustments for interest. So there's plenty to come. It's just getting the time to get it all in there and test it and so on.
A lot like Zero Go, really, isn't it? Plenty.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, if I had the resources that Zero had, then crikey, I think I'd have a few more updates done.
Yeah, a little bit, one or two. Johann, what's going on in the world of Client Engager? What updates have you had? Or what is it easier to say? Not the updates again. Is that going to be quicker?
Well, no. To be fair, Peter, our lead developer, is skiving over in America for 2 weeks. So I took 2 weeks off. Halfway through my 2 weeks off, he's taken his 2 weeks off. So we've kind of lost 3 weeks in the last month of development. But before he left,
you're telling me that Andy's not doing any of the development either way. He's not getting in the background.
No, Andy's too busy taking calls and doing demos. Andy has worked extremely hard for the last 3 weeks, bless him. But before Peter disappeared, he gave me the beta access to our email integration, which he does it every time. He does something just to make you go, that's genius. So what we've got is the ability to have 2 inboxes.
Ooh.
So you'll have your private inbox of Aaron at Bofix, and then you're going to have a shared inbox that the whole team can see. So that might be your support or your contacts or inquiries at Bofix, so that the whole team can see the shared box and turn those emails into tasks and respond. And then you've got your own inbox where you can turn it into tasks and respond and stuff as well. No one else in the practice management field, it gives you the ability to have a shared and a private inbox in the same login. So, yeah, groundbreaking stuff, really. It's functional. It's not pretty at the moment, but Peter's back on Tuesday next week, and we'll be rolling out the email integration on and around the 24th of April. So
that'd be another important date for something else that we're not allowed to talk about because of NDA. Yeah, great timing on that one. Brilliant. Wonderful. All right, looking forward to those updates. Yeah, and we can talk about them on the next show. So thank you very much, everyone. I've been really enjoyed today's podcast. And it's also been great to see so many people in the chat as well, chatting around, telling us and asking questions. Well, that's what this is all about. So, like I said, we're hoping to get the timing aligned for next time. If we can make this work, we're hoping as best as possible to bring into line where we're going to talk about all the things to do with accounts management and accounts production and how that works. I think having a special on that would be a pretty cool update because we've been really looking forward to talking about it. Don't forget to like us and everything else on the podcast services of your choice. It really does help. More people that can get to see this podcast, the better. And we're starting to ramp up to the rest of the accounting conference season anyway. So there's going to be quite a lot of opportunities, and we've got quite a few things planned to try and make as many bits of thing. And I don't know why my camera's doing what it's doing, but yeah, at the moment I look like I'm in a disco as it goes zooming in and out. So yeah. So thank you very much to everyone for coming to today's webinar and podcast and everything else. And I'm sure we'll see you in the next one. Ash, Johann, anything you want to finish off on? Anything you want to plug or anything else other than what you've already plugged?
Just tune in on Monday for Ask the Accountant. Tune in tomorrow for Ask the Accountant. We've got cool friends.
Very good point. Yeah, and we've got a really cool friend tomorrow. It's yeah, looking forward to everyone getting there.
We had some burgers. He was so cool.
Exactly. So yeah, great shout, that one. Very good shout. We'll see you either next month for QuickBooks Labs or, as Johann said, tomorrow/Monday for Ask the Accountant. Expert. No.
Ask the Accountant. Oh my God. It's been 6 months. Come on.
You'd have thought by now I know what it is. Ash, any words of wisdom to finish it off while I try and fumble around to find the exit video?
Nothing more from me. Yeah, I just hope everyone has a nice rest of their week. We're getting towards the weekend. We're halfway through now, aren't we? So we're all looking forward to having 2 days off at least.
Yeah, and it's a 4-day weekend next weekend, so.
Oh yes, Easter's on the way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? Scary. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. See you on the next one. Cheers, all.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
As an accountant, I've got something to say. I'd like to introduce you to a whole new way to help small business clients. It's easy as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. QuickBooks Online. Accounting you can customize. Just sit back and relax. It works with over 300 apps. It can sync up with PayPal or Shopify. And with Fathom you can analyze. With Fundbox you'll get paid instantly, while Stitch Labs tracks your inventory. QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online. Can save money and time.